good. We're here. Helicopter's there. That looks good. Flying by. Great. That's it. That's the entire forecast.
That would be fantastic.
May want to keep the camera on him with how impressive that is. I'm impressed.
Reporting live outside the Ryle Administrative Center, Ethan Dahlen, WANE 15 News. Build a trail running all along Illinois Road, connecting some of these lonely features. You just have to take a step back. This long building actually sits on multiple smaller lots. In fact, the lot lines run right through the walls of the building. They're already back in school. Reports from WANE 15 crew members confirm what documents filed with Allen County say. Lately, eggs like these ones have been cracking into their budget. The hearing, it's happening in this room just to my right, and you can see this group of people behind me. They're all watching a TV that is live streaming that hearing going on, once again, just inside of that room. The exemption is specifically for these cigars. Well, I'm not going to light it up right here. A bill that City Council is discussing tonight would let you light these up inside certain businesses.
How does a police officer decide whether he should use his gun or his taser? A lot of viewers have asked, as in the last 2 years, Fort Wayne has seen an increase in officer-involved shootings. WANE 15's Ethan Dahlen went through hands-on training with the Fort Wayne Police Department to answer your questions. We'd like to warn you, there is violent video taken from police body cams in this story. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey there. Hey, put your hands on the dash. Yes, sir. No one reach around, you understand me?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Of course, I want to take another car, please.
You're watching body camera footage of an officer-involved shooting that happened last year. This video and other body camera footage exist to shed light on police conduct, but sometimes when these posts hit social media, you see comments like these ones. Why didn't the officer just tase the suspect? Or why didn't the officer shoot to maim or disarm the person? Even some comments that ask, are the police too trigger-happy? To understand and answer your questions, today I'm speaking with the Fort Wayne Police Department to understand when and how they use force.
I want your viewers to know we don't shoot to kill. Fort Wayne Police Department has never shot to kill, it's to stop the threat.
Stopping threats is why the police use force in any situation, including deadly force at most.
The way they're trained is to meet the appropriate level of resistance or threat with the appropriate level of force.
It's not a strict rule for the department, but it's helpful to visualize force as a continuum. Each step doesn't chronologically come after the other or need to be checked off, but they are heightened responses to solving threats.
It's not like a decision tree as much as it is, okay, stimulus is this, here's my response.
And starting with the response of using lethal force, WANE 15 brought some of your questions to the department.
Something that I saw a lot when I went through the comments is, hey, why don't you just shoot him in the hand where he's holding the gun? Or why don't you just take out his leg so he can't charge you with that knife?
It's not reasonable and certainly not feasible. So the idea of shooting a gun out of somebody's hand is kind of what we get from Hollywood. It's unrealistic and it would be nearly impossible.
Another commonly asked question by you at home is, why do police shoot so many times to eliminate singular threats?
So our officers are taught to, shoot to stop the threat.
And that doesn't always happen with one bullet. In this 2019 body camera footage from Athens, Georgia, an officer shoots several times.
Put the knife down, please! No, 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 no!
Striking a knife-wielding man who gets back up and takes down the officer.
Shooting someone in the shoulder doesn't incapacitate them. And as you saw in a video that I showed you earlier, a subject was shot multiple times and was still able to get up and then put the officer on his back.
Just below lethal force is a group of weapons that includes pepper spray, police batons, and one of the department's favorite options.
The evidence, not just from our department, from around the country and all the years that departments have used tasers, is that it lowers officers' injuries and it also lowers injuries to suspects.
Although these weapons are less than lethal,
I'm going to say taser, 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 then I'll deploy.
We learned up close and personal just how incapacitating they can be. Oh! Ah! Yeah, that hurts. Oh, that's a good one. Now, if every tase was as effective as this one, departments across the country might be able to use lethal force less. But the problem is the taser probes spread 12 inches every 7 feet.
So out to 20, 25 feet, it's getting out to 30 plus inches, which makes it very difficult. So the optimum range is 7 to 15 feet.
In fact, tasers are only effective about 50% of the time, with the suspect's clothing also playing a role.
That gets more than an inch away from the skin. We have what's called a clothing disconnect, and that taser's not effective when it gets close. It is. Same with the probe. So like if you think winter clothing or a loose shirt and stuff like that, that's why we have disconnects where the taser's not effective.
That gives tasers a similar shortcoming to open-hand combat, giving verbal commands, and police presence. If the suspect is wearing a thick coat, heavily armed, or simply unwilling to comply, the police have to escalate to stop the threat. Here is the officer-involved shooting of Gawan Benson on Purdue Fort Wayne's campus from last summer. Officers gave verbal commands.
Juwan, get your hands up now!
Some pulled out their tasers.
Juwan, get your hands up or you will be tased.
But police, believing Benson was armed and not getting compliance, ended up shooting and killing him.
Drop it! Drop it now!
So our officers are taught to, shoot to stop the threat. And that is the bottom line.
That bottom line is what makes headlines, not when training to de-escalate with verbal commands or swift action is used in the field.
Put the gun down, sir!
Which is why the department is rebooting the Citizens Academy this year, so you can get a look at how police approach situations and train.
What goes on behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know.
If you're interested in signing up, you can go to WANE.com right now and register. Class will run October 2nd to November 13th on Thursday evenings from 6 to 9. Ethan Dahlen, WANE 15 News.
NeighborLink's fall leaf raking program has just begun.
The volunteer-based organization has a simple goal: create a unified network of neighbors helping neighbors. WANE 15's Ethan Dahlen put on some gardening gloves and learned how sometimes you receive more than you give.
The changing of the season brings about autumnal beauty and that signature crunch of fall. But for the mobility impaired and the elderly, it also brings about problems when trying to mulch or rake.
For them, it may be a little bit of a challenge and fear because they know that there may be something that prevents them from just being able to rake the leaves in their yard.
In steps NeighborLink's army of volunteer workers.
As long as I was healthy and had time, I felt like those are gifts from God and that you ought to be doing something with it.
So, a few times a month, Jennifer and some of her retired friends donate their time.
We work for a lot of elderly people, but we're all elderly, so we're probably in our 60s and 70s.
With that life perspective, they found that giving back is a reward all in itself.
And usually when we go to a place, we leave more blessed than they are.
As the leaves fall, NeighborLink is looking for more people who want to learn and receive the blessing of being a good neighbor.
They're not alone, they're not out there struggling by themselves, but that our community in Fort Wayne is going to show up and always do the neighborly thing.
If you or someone you know needs a little bit of help with your yard, or maybe you want to get your hands dirty and volunteer, you can find a link to NeighborLink's website right now on WANE.com. Reporting in Fort Wayne, Ethan Dahlen, WANE 15 News.
Northwest Allen County Schools is turning to a November referendum for operating cost. It would let them collect up to $12 million in tax dollars annually.
That money would only go towards staff pay for teachers and SROs, in addition to new staff who would work in a technical education center. However, not everyone is giving the referendum a good grade. WANE 15's Ethan Dahlen spoke with supporters, opposition, and the district about the proposed plan.
Northwest Allen County Schools is trying to bolster its budget, and they're going to do it by passing a new referendum. It'll give teachers raises and build a new technical education facility, but if it doesn't pass, all of those plans are going to be erased.
This is our really only source of revenue that we have to do a better job really of meeting the needs of our students.
But with about a month to go until the referendum is voted on, one political group is schooling the district. They give the referendum an F for increasing taxes.
This over $12 million tax referendum isn't a solution, it's just piling on it.
The increase for the average homeowner would be $151 a year, which Americans for Prosperity is organizing a grassroots effort against.
This is completely volunteer driven.
Butting heads with parents who are organizing their own movement for the referendum.
That addresses some needs that we have in the at the schools.
NACS says they get $8 million less than the average district in Indiana, and this would go toward teacher pay, acquiring new staff, and safety staff.
Part of this operating referendum is to impact students from the lowest levels of the elementary through their senior year experience at Carroll High School.
Right now on WANE.com, you can hear more from both sides of the issue on the referendum, but ultimately it's going to come down to the voters on November 4th. Are they going to pass the referendum or fail it? Reporting in Allen County, Ethan Dahlen, WANE 15 News.